Sports Extra.
Greetings and welcome to Friday Sports Extra. Coming up a little bit later, we'll check in on how the area folks did in the Wrestling State Tournament in Champaign. But we start with basketball, the final night of the high school basketball regular season. Several teams looking to wrap up conference titles by sweeping their leagues. We start with one of those teams in Murphysboro. The Red Devils taking on Harrisburg tonight. The Ohio Showdown. Drayshawn Payne will knock down the three ball. Then it's Dylan Craig with the baseline jumper. 35-23 Devils in the third. Harrisburg trying to keep it close. Freshman Capel Henshaw will knock it down. And then it's Kane Sheldon connecting from downtown. But Craig and company too much. Jared Gaston with the 5-footer. And then later, Henshaw. There's Gaston with the bucket there, and then later it's Henshaw again, and Murphysboro would go on to finish a sweep of the River to River, Ohio. Your final, 60-47. All right, other Ohio scores tonight. It was Heron, big over Benton, 62-43. Massac County beat Frankfort, 62-39. DeQuoin trying to clinch an outright River to River, Mississippi title tonight. Anna-Jonesboro doing its best to play spoiler in the first. J.R. Woodward takes it in for the tough two. Then A.J. down 4. Gabe Peekert will dial it up from deep. A.J. hanging tough, but DeQuoin would hit some big buckets in the second. Logan Schneider visiting the land of 3. But A.J. would seem to have an answer off the steal. Woodward will take it in, give it off to Jordan Adams for the bucket, but DeQuoin had too much. Jamar Reed will come up and knock down the 3 right there for the Indians. And they take care of business and wrap up the Mississippi Championship. DeQuoin takes it 61-35. Other Mississippi scores, it was Pinckneyville over Chester, 85-48, and Sparta beat Nashville 53-50. In the South 7, it was the battle for Route 13 supremacy. Carbondale heading to Marion to take on the Wildcats. Second quarter, Ty Neal with the drive in for 2. Terriers up 15. Marion trying to answer. Jeff Clark will knock in the 3-ball there, but Neal had an answer with his own rainbow 3-pointer. That one could have brought rain. And no, Ty Neal, he's loving the effort. Terriers up 17 at the break. Marion tried to make a run in the third. Tim Maldacious with the tough drive to the rack. Wildcats within 11, but Carbondale too tough down the stretch. Brandon Reno will clean up the miss here, and Carbondale goes on to win it. Your final, 70-55. Also in the South 7, Centralia won at Cahokia 56-46, and it was Althoff over Mount Vernon 66-50. Goreville tried to wrap up a perfect South Egyptian season, taking on Egyptian tonight. Early on, it's Tyler Shadowins with the pass inside to Brandon Pataki. 5-4 Black Cats. Egyptians Darmez Nelson with the steal. He takes it all the way in for the finish. And the Pharaohs were up a pair. Then it's Lamont Toots inside to Matt Petermichael for the lay-in. Goreville, though, had the lead. Black Cat Shadowins over to Martin Powell. He'll get the layup to fall. Powell had 21 on the night. Then it's Toots again. He'll take it in all the way by himself. But still, Goreville had a 2-point lead. And then finally, it's Pataki with the drive to the hoop and the harm. And Goreville goes on to sweep the South Egyptian 86-64, your final. Elsewhere, Cobden beat Century by 3, 73-70. It was Meridian over Joppa, 83-65. Carey Mills wrapped up its 5th straight GEC title Tuesday. Galatia trying to stop the Wildcats' drive for a perfect 14-0 conference season. Late in the first quarter, Kobe Watson with the long 3, but all Wildcats from there. Dylan Harrison with the steal over to Wyatt Kirkland for 2. Carrier Mills used a 23-7 run to close the half, but Galatia would stage a comeback midway through the third. Denton Reed with the 3. Bearcats back on top. Then it's Watson with the dribble drive, but Galatia failed to score when it mattered most. Chase Craig will connect from the corner, and the Wildcats take care of business. They finished 14-0 in the GEC, 62-58, your final. Other games in the GEC, Crab Orchard in overtime beat Hardin County 79-72, and it was NCOE over Thompsonville 55-37. Hamilton County looked to wrap up at least a share of the Black Diamond East with a win at Johnston City. We start out early on. Brandon Kreider for 2, and the Indians had a quick lead. Second quarter, Daniel Davidson kicks it out to Nick Dean for the three-pointer. A little later, Aaron Cravens is going to spot up and knock down the three ball for the Foxes, and they had a 2-point lead. Next possession, Robert Rubenacker will hit another three from the top of the key. The lead was up to 5. Johnston City hung tough, though. Kreider with the bucket inside, but the Foxes prevail. Your final, 39-33. And they will share the title with Carmi-White County. The Bulldogs held off Fairfield tonight, 52-46. Also in the Diamond East, Vienna visiting Eldorado. Cody Lane needing 25 points to pass his dad for third on Eldorado's scoring list. Lane would drive and get the jumper to rattle, and that would indeed put him at third, still behind Dad. The next ball is going to get loose. Lane eventually going to put it in. He had 12 in the first half. Eldorado would go on to easily win it. Your final, 62-39. Diamond West, Carterville Lions playing their final game in the Black Diamond Conference on the road against Sesser-Valier. First quarter, Ryan Bonifield pounds it inside for the bucket and the foul. Lions cut it to 1 after the free throw, but next possession, the Devils with an answer. Kendall Gibson working down on the blocks for 2. Red Devils up 3, and then later, SV turning up the defense. Gibson with the steal ahead to Miles Tinsley for the finish. Red Devils led by 2 after 1. Lions come back. Drew Bonner will knock down the 3. Carterville led by 4 at the half, but the Red Devils pull away down the stretch to win it, 51-45. Our final stop, Zeigler-Royalton and Christopher. Longtime CZR football coach and Christopher AD John Kretz honored tonight. Kretz is retiring. He's one of the good guys on the Southern Illinois sports scene. Christopher down 17 at the half, third quarter. Devin Austell with the baseline J for the Bearcats. ZR still up 13, then Tornadoes in transition. Jake Walchak with the finish. Lead was up to 19. Bearcats still trying to hang in there. Stephen Dyer pulling up for the jumper. He'll get the friendly bounce. Christopher down 24 at that point. Then later in the second half, Kyle Stubblefield draining the tray for the exclamation point, and ZR goes on to win it. The last score we had, 65-38 in the fourth quarter. One other Diamond West score, Trico completed a sweep of the West, beating Eldorado 65-40. Elsewhere from the Midland Trail, Weber Township. That should be flipped. That should be Sisney over Weber Township, 66-34. Woodlawn big over Clay City, and it was Odin by 41 over Goreville. And one non-conference score, Waltonville beat Wayne City, 66-52. The basketball Salukis step out of Mo Valley play tomorrow when they tangle with Western Michigan in the annual Bracket Buster game. The Dogs are 5-2 all-time in the Bracket Buster. Southern has played the Broncos the past 2 seasons, with each team winning on its home floor. The Salukis will have to deal with one of the best scorers they've seen all season.
Obviously, they have a high-end scorer in David Cools, averaging 21.5 a game. We haven't seen a guy average 20 points this year, but you have to have special attention to him. You have to know where he is. He's not just a shooter. He gets to the rim. He gets to the free throw line. So he's a kid who really understands how to score.
Dogs and Broncos tip off just after 2 tomorrow at the arena. The Saluki women follow with their annual Pink Out game against Illinois State. Bracket Buster action tonight. Northern Iowa beat Old Dominion 71-62. Southern Illinois schools sent more than 20 wrestlers to the state championships in Champaign. 8 won their preliminary matchups this morning. 5 earned first-round byes into tonight's quarterfinals. And here's how the area wrestlers did. 4 advanced to tomorrow's semifinals. In 140 pounds, Aaron Robinson from Benton, 145, Jake Miller from Murphy, and 160-pound Marshall Anderson from Heron. And in 2A, Zane Richards, the sophomore from Carbondale, is into the semifinals of 125. Semis are in the morning. Championship matches set for tomorrow night. SIU baseball lost its season opener at Arkansas State. The softball Salukis won 2 at a tournament in Georgia. That's going to do it for us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night with Saturday Sports Extra. Nightline is next. Have a great night.